Um, I would say my dad was probably, I look it up to get it exact, but he was a young boy. And some of the Indians from over in Oklahoma came over and they staged. Of course, there was a good-sized buffalo herd here, and a lot of them were friends of Goodnight, stemming from Quanah Parker's friendship. And they had a buffalo hunt, and it became a big thing. The Amarillo paper was full of the last buffalo hunt. Their planes, and they were rather primitive planes at that time, flew in. If you had a ticket to that, well, they had the big supper before and all, and then they staged the buffalo hunt, had the dances. People from all over came to see the buffalo hunt, and Lee Goodin can tell you about some of that. He got to go. Melton McGehee will tell you he didn't get to go, and he's still upset about it. Everybody, I guess, that could possibly get here came down because they came to see the Indians. They came to see the buffalo. It was a big event. Primarily up at the big house. Now, this Goodnight film we were talking about, most of it was filmed, most of it, a good part of it was filmed here in what we call our west pasture just below the house. This was where the buffalo were kept a lot, and the terrain is very familiar. This picture is, we think, the last time Goodnight was on a horse. My dad saddled his horse, put his saddle on the horse. His saddle was a very beautiful saddle, padded seat of a different color of leather from the rest of it, the large old flat Spanish horn, and silver, and I can't think of the name of it, but on the skirts it had the squared with the silver and his initials on it, and Mr. Goodnight got all dressed up, suit with the vest, hat, and had his picture made on buttons. And when Goodnight got off the horse, he handed the reins to my mom and said, "It's all yours." And that was thereafter, when I was growing up, we spoke of it as Mother's saddle. We just left Goodnight out entirely. That was Mother's saddle. And the reason that saddle is so particularly special to me, my sister was 4 years older, and when we lived here, we didn't get in a car and go places. There was a car, but you didn't drive it that much. And Mother would saddle old buttons and get up in the saddle, reach down and take my sister by the hand and pull her up behind her. No, I'm telling this wrong. Let me start over. My sister would hand me up. I was 4 years younger than her. I don't know exactly at what age, for quite a while. And I would sit on that big saddle horn in front of Mother. Then she would reach down, and my sis would be pulled up to the stirrup where she could get her foot in it and swing on behind. And we would go to town. We went after the mail. We went to visit Grandma. We just had a grand time wandering around the countryside on Old Button, and Mother could take both of us with her on this horse. And well, it's rather a famous picture because of it being Goodnight. And when the Canyon Museum featured Goodnight one time over there, well, the saddle was shown with this picture. Mother gave the saddle to the museum quite a number of years ago. This picture is especially appealing to me because it shows Mr. and Mrs. Goodnight in their later years sitting out under the trees at the big house looking at a picture album. They must have had many memories. All of us do, but theirs encompasses in history that's rather remarkable, and what they did with their life was rather remarkable. And this is a picture of them, late 80s, I'd say at least. And I haven't seen this picture anywhere. Mother gave it to my daughter a long time ago, and it's in a photograph album she has, and she shared it with me for our museum. They are known as the father and mother of the Texas Panhandle, and I think rightly so.